Just could not be prouder of this group. Cincinnati's a great team. Wes has done a great job with them. They're just big and physical and athletic, and they're terrific defense. We knew going in that was one of the best defense in the country. I think they were 15th, and defensive efficiency, and our guys just the way they moved the ball, the way they shared it. The effort they gave on the glass. We gave up some old boards, but they're a top. I think they're 13th in offensive rebounding percentage. So. We talked a lot about all the deposits we made all year, coming due in this game. This is going to be, a kind of whatever is necessary type game, and that was going to be what was required. Some extraordinary efforts, and I thought we got extraordinary efforts up and down the roster. Could not be prouder of these guys, and of course, Robbie, as he's done, so many times, with a monster, three to kind of, give us some separation there, and then. We were able to close the game out with some really intelligent defense, big time rebounding, and then Jabo with two huge free throws. So incredibly proud, beat a really good team, a lot of respect for those guys, but excited to be moving on and continue playing.
Questions for our student athletes? Go ahead.
For both of you, what do you think this moment means to those people out there?
I think it means a lot, being able to play not only just at this time, but being able to get wins in this time is, huge. And to finish out our last home game on top is, not many teams get to do that. And so for us to be able to do that for them is, amazing. They showed out, all season long. And so we're just trying to pay back what they've done for us.
Jayson?
It means so much to just be able to play in front of them. The support, the energy they bring every game just means so much. And we just want to give it back to them for all the hard work they put in, just cheering us on throughout the whole season.
Andy?
Second half, mid to late, you guys all of a sudden went on a run. What are you guys feeling when that starts to happen? What goes through your mind?
Jayson?
Honestly, just us locking in even more, playing together even more, picking each other's energy even more, just feeding off each other.
I just say trying to stay composed throughout it all. The basketball is a game of runs, and so we made our run, but that doesn't just mean the game's over right then and there. And so just being able to be just keeping our calm, our peace throughout the game, and continue to try and just make play after play, next play, and I think we did that pretty well.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Robbie, you had 6 first half points, 16 second half points. Aziz kind of just a different specimen with his length. Was there something that clicked in the second half, an adjustment that was made that led to the big runs?
Definitely started hitting more shots. I had a couple of open ones that I missed early, but just my teammates trusted me, getting me the ball, in the spots that I wanted it, and just being able to hit the shots. I put in a lot of work, in my game, and so just being able to trust what I've done, not letting a missed shot kind of, affect me, and continue to shoot.
Great.
Robbie and Jake Oak Forest now to the NIT semifinals. How does that sound? What a run you guys have been on?
It's been a lot of fun, being able to play with this guy again. It's been amazing. Obviously we played 2 years of high school. It's our second year together here. We've had a lot of memories together, a lot of winning together, and so we're just looking forward to continue to win.
Yeah, playing with Robbie again is a blessing. Playing when I'm in high school was so much fun. And like you said, we built so many memories, and even now, these are memories I'll never forget. And I'm so grateful to play with him and got the Oak Forest duo back together, doing it together.
Yes, sir.
Your 3 to put yourself back ahead. Did you know that was going in, or are you surprised when they don't go in?
That one, as I shot it, I kind of felt it. I started to jog back a little bit as it was, going in. But just like I said, trusting what I've done, I'm capable of hitting shots like that, early in the game, end of the game, no matter what time it is. Just, having the confidence, no matter, how many shots I miss or make, just being able to shoot that kind of shot, and, it helped us, push us over the hump.
And even if you miss, I'll get you.
Yeah, he'll get you.
Sir?
You guys have the look of a very driven team through the last few games. How much are you driven even now by the disappointment of Selection Sunday?
We've been, like we said throughout this whole NIT, it definitely sucked. It was a gut punch, but we're even more driven just to be able to continue playing. Not a lot of teams have the opportunity to, continue playing in March, and we're just driven even more because we want to continue to play with each other, continue to practice with each other, and continue hanging around with each other. So we're just driven to keep playing and be around each other.
I think, like Shertz says all the time, I think our motivation to continue to play really isn't the outside stuff. Yeah, of course, being left out of the NCAA tournament hurt, but I think it's more just the love for each other, the being able to continue to spend more time with each other. I think just that being able to do that is kind of driving us to want to extend the season as long as possible.
Anything else for student athletes? Robbie, Jayson, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Yeah. Ask them all the hard questions.
Yeah, give them the hard questions.
That's right. I'll answer them all about you guys.
Questions just on this game and Hinkle? Questions? Yes.
There are some teams that don't go to the NIT. When you contrast that to tonight, the emotions on both teams out there.
Yeah, I think it's, without getting on a soapbox, I think if you have a chance, everybody's different. So I'll say this, us not playing was never an option. If you're competing and you're a competitor and you have an opportunity to go play and play great competition and challenge yourself, that would be crazy for me to end my seniors, year, or a group that really cares about each other like this and say, we're just done. We're done with each other, or the portal, because I think, and I don't know, but I believe all 68 teams in the NCAA tournament accepted their invitations, and they're managing the portal as well. So I think there's maybe some misdirection there in terms of what the real reason is. But this group, I've said all year, their superpower is how much they care about each other, how much they care about winning, how much they care about their performance, how much they care about these fans, how much they care about Indiana State. That's a superpower, because they don't want this to end, and so I would never have cut that off from them. And I think credit Cincinnati, because as you could tell, how much it meant to them as well. And but it's if you're really a competitor, how could you not love being out there in that atmosphere, that environment, playing incredible competition? That's as good as it gets. You never feel more alive than you do out there in those type of battles.
Back row.
Coach, you got your normal gain out of Robbie, Ryan, and Jayson. I thought the energy that X gave you there in that spurt, his couple assists there in the big corner three, you may talk about his spurt there for you.
Yeah, he's just, sixth man of the year. He just does it every game. He finds ways to contribute. He's an amazing passer. We've been together 6 years, and I recruited him for years, so he's, basically, like a third son. We've known each other 7 years, and he's just he's so smart. He's so tough. He's such a great teammate. He coaches much more than I do, so he's over there standing up. He's so whether he's playing or he's coaching, he's just. You talk about a guy whose emotional investment in the team is not predicated on his playing time. That's super rare in today's world. And your emotional investment in something is not dictated by how much time you're playing. He played 11 minutes tonight. And there's games where he's played, he's played a lot the last 2 NIT games. And, Swope didn't play much in those games. And these guys, the ability to enjoy somebody else's success, the ability to come off for him, he's the rarest of birds, because he can really, really play, but he doesn't have to play, if that makes sense. He's an excellent player, doesn't have to, he's not going to pout or mope if he's not getting his time. And he'll be ready when I call on him, and he goes out and whatever the team needs, he provides, and he's done that all year long. And we're nowhere close to this without having him.
Good.
Coach, you talked about Julian Larry. He had 4 fouls, coming up in the second half. How do you play around that with one of your better guys, who's a floor general, getting 4 fouls?
Well, we're fortunate. We have, one thing we're not short on is point guards. Ryan and Swope, and we got a lot of guys that can handle the ball. But Ju gets 4 fouls, and I think that's one of those things. Ryan got 2 fouls during the second half. I think, I'm not going to foul my guys out. I'm going to let the referees do that. I'm not going to just sit them because they have 2 fouls or 4 fouls. You got to trust your guys, and I don't want to be the one to foul them out. Let them do that. And I thought Ju did a really good job of playing intelligently. We took him out when he got his 3rd for a minute or 2, and then we got him a minute or 2 when he got his 4th. But he went back in the last 5.5, 6 minutes, and he was terrific down the stretch. And I thought, and it'll probably go underrated, but his defense, and certainly Swope's defense on Jizzle James there late in the second half, was as about elite as it gets. In the ball screen coverages and what they were doing, both those guys were fantastic on the defensive end of the floor to help close the game.
Go ahead.
Coach, 19 points off 10 turnovers by UC in the second half. Just curious what your game plan was heading into that second half, what you did differently to ramp up the defensive intensity?
I thought we just had a better presence of the ball. I thought we were, we thought in the first half, we thought we were dying at too many ball screens. We really tried to get a little more aggressive and have a better presence on the basketball. We talk a lot about always, deflections and trying to contest passes and, developing that mindset to be able to get in the ball a little bit. We're not big, so particularly against Cincinnati, Lukosh is 6'8", I think Skillings is 6'6" or 6'7" or whatever, and our guards use 6'2", 6'3", Ryan 6'3", 6'4", Swope's 5'10", and so we have to get underneath them and get some pressure, impact the ball. And I thought second half we did a much better job of trying to maybe disrupting what they wanted to do. But credit them, it felt like every time we had a chance, they made a shot. Particularly felt like, I don't know. I know it says Lukosh has missed 8 threes, but I don't remember them. It just felt like every one he shot went in. So, but I thought we did a good job, and then it got us out in transition, which for us is the best thing we do. If we can get deflections, create turnovers, this team with its speed and its skill is at its best in the open floor, and so we were able to get out and convert those 10 to 19 points.
I assume the 8,000 plus helped tonight, and how many of those can you squeeze into Anchor?
Well, I hope. It's not that far, so I would hope we get all 8,000. But no, the fans, that environment, and it's been like this, a lot of the season. So I don't want everybody to think like, oh, this was like an anomaly. Like it has been that electric, that packed. Like this year, it's one of the best environments in college basketball, and it's a hard place to come play. Everybody's like, well, people always wonder, why Power 6 schools don't come here. Now people know why Power 6 schools don't come here, right? Like that's what it is. And so when you get into these scheduling debates and you say, oh, well, they didn't play, we're not gonna, you're not gonna get these games. So, and again, I don't, not like I'm bashing the Power 6. Like it doesn't make sense for them to play those games. Like the way the system is set up, they don't want to come and lose on the road to Indiana State. So, these fans have made this, we lost one home game all year, and these fans have, the two things that create an incredible home court environment, atmosphere and energy. You gotta have great players, which we do, and you gotta have fans that are just, bring energy and passion, and I think, you see that when you come in the Holman Center.
Front row.
As a follow-up, you mentioned Jizzle James earlier. Just curious on your thoughts on him making his second career start with Day Thomas being lost for the season.
Yeah, he was. He's 2 games where they have 25 and now 21, so he's averaging 23 a game in his 2 starts. He doesn't look like a freshman. We scrimmaged Cincinnati back in October. At Cincinnati, so we had a chance to look at those guys. Now Bandango, some of those guys weren't eligible at the time because of the transfer rules, and Robbie didn't play for us because he had a bad back. But to see his development, to my Jizzle James' development from what he was there to what he is now, night and day. He looked poised, confident. He was getting to his spots. We had a lot of trouble with him in the pick and roll. That was, Lukosh is coming off screens and shooting, and Jizzle James playing the pick and roll were probably the 2 things that gave us, the most trouble. And watching him score 25 against Bradley, then come in tonight and do this was, he's very, very impressive. He's got a chance to be a, all-league guy at the Big 12 level. The way he plays, his poise, his confidence, his shooting ability to get to his spots, and he can, he can pass out of there as well.
Back row.
You took your last time out there, Isaiah's last free throw there. Did you tell the kids to foul if you missed, or was it something they did on their own?
No, it was. So I was debating because we wanted to foul if we missed because the window of time was right. So we wanted to be in what we call smack, but there was also like a little bit of confusion. So I didn't want to like free Swope, which maybe I did, which probably bad coaching. But the goal was to communicate that if we missed a free throw, we wanted to let them rebound and take a dribble and smack because the window of time was gonna, it would work in our favor, right? So if we made it, we were gonna be what we call prevent, like a zone press, just to make them take time, bring the ball to the floor. And then we missed the free throw. We were able to foul, and then got the free throw rebound to close it. So that was why I used it, but it turned out to be probably not the brightest thing because Swope missed the second free throw. So that's on me.
Last question, Hunter.
Coach, you mentioned the fast break, get out in transition, that you really kind of decided the game there in those last 10 minutes. How much can you kind of just pinpoint some of your guys' passing, whether it's Bledson making that, half-court dish right to the rack for Julian for a layup, or some of the other passing you got from Swope as well after some of those rebounds?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, look, you look at, I mean, we play, with great pace. I think that's a big part of our offense is trying to play with in transition. I think, and then we have a lot of guys who can really handle and pass the basketball, which is a luxury to have. Where you got that many guys that can handle the rock and can, are willing passers, not just capable, but willing passers. And so, you look at our numbers. I think we had 18 assists tonight. I think we've had crested 20 the first 2 games, the NIT each game, and we're close to 18 a game, when you look at our season total. So, it's right in line with what we've been. Cincinnati is, I said in the beginning, I think they're the 15th ranked defense in the country in terms of defense efficiency. I mean, that's a monster defensive team with length and athleticism. And so for us to put up 53 in the second half, it's just a credit to our guys in terms of, their ability to really execute and generate, work together collectively to generate great shots. And transition is a big part of that.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.